All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Tuesday morning. May God bless each and every one of you in the name of Yeshua, Jesus, the Messiah. I do pray you and your family are super blessed, whether you're watching, whether you're listening, whether you're being forced to listen because someone else is watching and listening next to you. God bless you, as Bitcoin right now is coming up to the key level that we have in our chart, the big question mark. The big question mark, is Bitcoin going to go this way or is it going to go that way? We were looking at this level yesterday, talking about the importance of 105.8, this very key level that we have on our chart right here. And as long as Bitcoin is below the level, this is bearish, but if we can reclaim, there's a chance that this green arrow could pump us to a new all-time high, and we're going to be talking about the chart. Got to give a major shout out to the Casper crew. All right, long trade was given well in advance, taken live back in May. Then, of course, we gave the setup again at the end of May. And then, of course, yesterday we gave the setup again in the Casper Crew New York Open VIP live stream. And I told everybody I'm basically long from this exact level. And then, of course, where do we pump up to? None other than the short setup that we gave in the Casper Crew at 106.3. 106.3 is where we came up to. And we get a little bit of a rejection right from the level that we give in the Casper Crew. Also got to give a shout out to the Casper Crew again, taking the short trade from the exact top. Yeah, I'm talking like Crypto, okay? Trying to. Doesn't work out. Short given from the exact high in the Casper Crew. We are nailing these charts, baby. And we're going to be talking about what happens next. So make sure to like and subscribe and click the bell for notifications. Also, if you want to learn how to trade, check out the free course on YouTube. A 16-18 part free course here on YouTube. If you want to learn how to trade, you want to learn how to catch the juicy entries short from the exact top, check out the course. Also, guys, BLOFIN, 10% cash back. Very juicy. ANTARCTIC exchange, lowest fees. Very juicy. All right, WEEX and MEXC and all that other good stuff. All right. Now, what's that? Hang on. I just got a word from my producers, my handlers, and my earpiece. They say, Jason, quit shilling everything right off the beginning of the stream, man. You're going to turn people away. Sorry. What's that? You're going to adjust my MK Ultra mind control if I don't stop? I have to be more subtle. Got it. All right, here we are back at the screen, baby. Look at this, man. We are coming to a very key level, and we got to shout out everybody in the chat right now. Shout out to French Toaster. Shout out to Ace Ventura. Shout out to this person who I think his name is in Arabic, but it could be some other Middle Eastern language that looks like Arabic, and I can't tell the difference. Shout out to Dave Flowers. Shout out to Rogue. Shout out to BPN Mega. Shout out to Eddie. He says, bruh, please, 20% less advertisement. Eddie's my handler. Shout out to Boss. Shout out to Samuel S. Shout out to Jackson Crawford. Shout out to Olga ER. Shout out to Tina D. And X-Zeus Seraph. XRP holding strong. Preparing for war. God bless you, bro. Good to see you here. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Andras Lazko, who says, lose 2 zeros with the plunger on the headline. Looks too desperate trading with something bigger than you have. That's exactly the point. A 300,000.00 long trade, man. You know, you look real quick, you might think it's like 3 million or some crazy number. You know? That's the whole point, man. That's the whole point. We are the most sensational YouTube channel in the world. Even more sensational than Carl from the Moon. Spicier than a whole box of jalapeno peppers. High in fiber, good for the heart. If you know what I mean. Alright? Like, honestly, you don't get this kind of quality content anywhere else than the Jason Casper YouTube channel, if you know what I mean, baby. If you know what I mean. Now, Bitcoin is respecting key levels. And yesterday we went over some scary, bearish scenarios, right? Yesterday we went over some scary, bearish scenarios. And today, Bitcoin is in fact holding the key support. We are holding the key support, which is basically the 102.9-ish. All right, all the way back in May, we're recognizing the fact that very key support is going to be the 786 Fibonacci, confluence with the high volume node of the previous range. This is our last line in the sand before we actually change market structure from bullish to bearish. And so far, we're holding, okay? So there's good news and bad news. The good news, I'll give it to you first. That's not what you're supposed to do. The good news is that we're holding support. All right, from the trade setup given in advance in the Casper Crew VIP Discord at jasoncaspertrading.com. But the bad news is that we're rejecting from resistance at 105.8 and the Fibonacci Golden Pocket. And we are forming what appears to be some sort of like a wedge, a trumpet pattern. You guys get what I'm saying here? Some kind of wedge trumpet pattern. Now, when we zoom out and we also look at where we rejected from the previous support, okay? So this level right here, 105.8, the reason why this is such a key level is because if we look at all the volume that has traded, going all the way back to the day that the orange man himself won the election this time, we can see that this is the value area high of the range. Okay, look at this. Value area high of the range, guys. What does this mean? This means that technically speaking, all right, just objectively speaking, I'm not making any kind of prediction or comment about the Bitcoin price and where it's going. Objectively speaking, anything above this blue line on the chart is considered overbought. All right, means expensive Bitcoin should be a correction to the downside. Just like anything below this blue line, 90,000, oversold. Bitcoin too cheap should be a correction to the upside. Now, as we're seeing this juicy uptrend from this low, and we're reclaiming the value area low of the range, the pattern here is pump, range, pump, range, pump, range, pump. Whoa, we're changing the pattern here. Because instead of pump range, we're pump, and then we're coming back down into the previous range. All right, this is a pattern change. And in addition to this, as we're trying to reclaim this very key level, 105.8, of course, has been adjusted to 106.4 now because of the volume. We're starting to see a little bit of a rejection from this as well. All right, again, there's no surprise that we're seeing some kind of resistance here. You know, this is the level given in the Casper Crew, 106.3. Look at that, man. Talk about precision. 106.2 to 106.7, short area. You can see why this is such a key level of resistance. We have a Fibonacci Golden Pocket. We have a value area high. We have a value area low. We have a liquidity grab. All right. So in the Casper Crew, long given in advance, long given in the moment, short given in advance. After the short given in advance from the exact high. All right. We are nailing these charts, baby. All right. We are nailing these charts. Now, a few other things we need to keep in mind here. The monthly candle, it did close bearish. I know it's the highest monthly candle closed in the history of Bitcoin. But objectively speaking, we closed below the last all-time high. That's called a swing failure pattern. Weekly chart, candle closed bearish. Now, and we talked about this yesterday, but there is a potential right now for the weekly time frame to print and confirm a bearish divergence. This is a cycle top signal. We do not want the red dot to confirm here. Thankfully, the red dot's not even printing yet. But the last time we had this exact pattern of bear div 1, major swing low, and then drive up to make that second level of divergence, it was the previous all-time high of Bitcoin right here. And notice the pattern, highest monthly candle close in history, only then to confirm the bear div and the cycle top is in. Am I saying that's going to happen? No. No, hear me out. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is this. If we hold below 106.4 and that red dot confirms, then I'm going to say, I'm going to be a YouTube bear. And everyone's going to hate me. But I'm going to be bearish because that's a very bearish sign. So what do we want to see right now for bullishness? First of all, we need to understand that when we're on these high time frames, like the 1 week, like the 2 week, as we're coming to such major areas of resistance, like a macro value area high, we would like to see what we saw historically, which is a very convincing break. I mean, historically, we have seen a very, very convincing break as we come to the top of these ranges here. Like, so convincing, there's no question, there's no waiting for a back test, it's just bam, 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 right? But here we are, we're flirting with this resistance on the 2 week chart, and we still have 5 days left for this. This candle, watch the 2 week chart, because if this purple candle closes blue above 106.4, what does that mean? It means we broke above resistance, we back tested it as support, and now we're closing above. All right. So this first week of June is very important. This first week of June is so important to understand the summer, what the summer holds for Bitcoin. Because in my opinion, if we close this 2 week candle below 106.4, that is not a good look. All right. We're closing a monthly candle below, we're closing weekly candles below, we close a 2 week candle below. We want to see a back test here. We want to actually see the price not stay below this level and get a pump back test and close above the level. That would be quite bullish, right? When in doubt, zoom out. Look for that pattern of the breakout and the back test. That's really what we want to see here for bullishness to the upside. If we can do that, that will delay the weekly red dot. All right, because there's still time for this dot not to print, and there's still time for this momentum wave to play the just kidding game. All right, the I'm gonna print just kidding game. We see it happen a lot here, like over here back in November 2023. Looked like the red dot was gonna print, just kidding. We had a lot more upside after that, right? Even back here, we saw the wave start to look like it wanted to squeeze. Just kidding, big pump, big breakout, right? So I'm not saying that the top is in, I'm just saying we need to be watching the 2 week chart, in my opinion, for the breakout and back test. And here's something else we need to watch. We'll go down to the Uno hour. Make sure to smash the likes for a $1,000 giveaway. Smash the likes for a $1,000 giveaway. Here's something else we need to understand. So long as we're not taking out $100,000, objectively speaking, the uptrend is still intact, right? And I'm talking about this uptrend right here. Low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. As long as we're not doing this, we're still in an uptrend. We're still making higher lows and higher highs. And right now, as we know, we're holding a key support, which is that Fibonacci 786 level at 103K, confluence with the high volume node of this previous range right here. So as long as we're holding that, this could turn into a bullish pump. All right. In addition, there are people looking at like things like this. All right. We've all seen it on Twitter and stuff. The breakout of the channel and all this. All right. People talking about a cup and handle right here. Okay. So all those things are very possible so long as we don't make the lower low. As soon as we make this lower low, as soon as we take out 100,000, even if we get a bounce from 100,000, then it becomes very probable that we continue down to the bottom of the range. All right, down to the bottom of the fair value zone. Why? Because, well, as we said, when we reclaim the value area low of the range, we expect to move to the value area high of the range, right? If you're a subscriber to the Jason Casper YouTube channel, which you should be, this ain't no surprise. We were bullish. We were calling for this back in April. Reclaim the level, we get sucked up to the top. All right. Long setup given in advance in the Casper crew. All right. We execute. We take the profits, baby. All right. We execute. We take the profits. All right. So now the opposite is true. If we lose the value area high, the technical target is going to be back down to the bottom of the range. If we're changing market structure here, we're making a lower low, not only are we losing key support, but we're changing market structure. We're breaking the pattern that existed since down here. All right, objectively speaking, based on all things market structure and the bearish divergences that will be on the chart, this would be the most probable outcome. Just coming back down to support. And I know people don't like that, but the reality is, most of the time, assets range. So again, do you want to be a Bitcoin bull? Me too. All right. I'm way more. I benefit way more on Bitcoin if we pump than if we dump. Okay. I'm in like a $250,000 short position. I've got 7 figures portfolio of Bitcoin on spot plus I've got like couple $100,000 dang positions on leverage. Plus I've got a massive altcoin portfolio as well, which will only pump if Bitcoin pumps, right? So, you know, the thing is, like, you gotta understand, I'm not bearish here, guys. I don't want to be bearish is what I'm trying to say. I want the price to pump. I don't want to be a bear, but I have to be objective. I do have to be objective on the chart. So as long as we're doing this, we could still pump. All right, we could still pump. It's actually looking pretty nice. In fact, here's a little theory, a bullish theory that I have. All right, check this out. Check this out. All right, maybe the pattern's not broken. All right, maybe the pattern's not broken. Maybe the pattern's still intact. Right? You guys get what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, I'm forcing it a little bit, maybe. Forcing it a little bit, maybe. Maybe. But look at this too. Skinny wedge, thicker wedge, really thick wedge. All right? This could absolutely be a thing. Because the fact that we're connecting this bottom trend line, although we could look at this and say, you know what? We had the breakout and then the come back into the range. We could also look at this and say, okay, yeah, maybe we had a fake out and back into the range, but also, you know, because we haven't changed the structure yet, and because we can still draw this clear as day trend line with 1, 2, 3, 4 taps, we're still holding these higher lows, right? So line in the sand, there's 2 lines. 1064 must reclaim bullishness. 100,000, we dip below even with a wick, we become bearish. 2-week chart, we want to see the candle close above 1064. Weekly chart, we cannot see the dang red dot print right here. Okay, we cannot. That will signal to me the top of the bull market. Now let's take a look at the order flow. We will take a look at the order flow. Man, you can tell that something is brewing in this area here. Something is brewing. All right. Let's look at the order flow here. Let's see. Okay, so, man. So, what's interesting is, let's zoom out even more. I just want to get a feel of, like, what's been happening throughout this entire move down here. Alright, so there's some really good news here, guys. There's some really good news. As we're watching, let me go over to CoinAlyze so I can draw on the chart. All right, because we do have some good news here. We're actually seeing some bullish developments at these lows, at this trend line, which is exactly what we would want to see for another move to the upside. Now I'm on the 4-hour chart here, which is you never use the 4-hour to take a trade when it comes to order flow, right? But look at this. When we look at the CBD, let's pop on over to CoinAlyze. When we look at the CBD and the open interest here, as we're holding the trend line, okay, and making higher lows, we're seeing a huge amount of shorts opening up. Open interest increasing like crazy. All right? Open interest increasing like crazy. When I see the open interest, I get more bullish than this. All right? Open interest increasing like crazy. CVD getting very low. What does this mean? There are millions and millions and billions and trillions and quadrillions and quintillions, sextillions and septillions, octillions of trades opening in the short direction. And yet the price is unable to break the bullish market structure. What this is telling me now is basically the same thing price was telling me down here. If you guys remember down here, in the Casper crew, we took a live trade in the moment during the New York Open live stream because we saw bullish CVD at these higher lows. Well, right now we're seeing the exact same thing here. All right, we are seeing retail traders getting bearish, but the bigger players, the whales, all right, let's draw our whale here. That's a horrible whale. It's a horrible, horrible whale. It's one of my worst. All right, there are whales here, and what the whales are doing is they're filling up long orders, and they're using the market short orders to fill up long orders, and they're actually holding price on this trend line. Because think about it, if there's more shorts than longs, well, what moves the market is the buyers and sellers. So if there's more sellers than buyers, you expect the market to change trend. If there's more sellers than buyers, but the market is continuing to make higher lows, it's telling you there's somebody here holding the price up by filling limit orders, all right? This is a very bullish CVD divergence. And what this does is it gives us more confidence in our idea to say, I can stay bullish here so long as we don't lose this low. So long as we don't change market structure. Because as soon as we change market structure, then what? It means there's more shorts than longs and the shorts are winning, right? If we lose this key level, this last major low, 100,007, that means, yeah, there's more shorts than longs, and yeah, price is making lower lows, which means the shorts are in control, which means womp womp. But as long as we see more shorts than longs and the price is holding higher lows, that's telling us there's something happening here. There's some bigger players in the market that are looking at this as an opportunity to buy when Bitcoin comes back down to the trend line. All right. Now I also want to take a look at the daily chart here on Bitcoin. All right. Let's take a look at the daily chart. The daily chart. All right. This daily chart right here. It's a 50-50 shot right now, man. It really is. But here's the deal. I really don't like the way this looks. This yellow oscillator looks like it's going to do that. Okay. The one hope that we have here on the daily chart is this. We made a very nice low here. Bullish divergence. Whenever you see a nice bullish divergence with money flow and momentum at key support, most of the time it means this is the beginning of a strong trend reversal. We saw a strong trend reversal. We have yet to see a pullback. Then what happens is, when we get a pullback, however low it goes, all right, it might not come down any lower than this trend line. This could be it here. However low it goes, that next trigger wave on the daily time frame, or whatever time frame you're looking at, that next wave that has continued direction with that initial divergence gives you a very powerful move. So within the next few days, this is why I say the first week of June is so important. If we confirm the green dot here and this yellow oscillator stops being so curvy like that, right? What I mean by curvy like that is we would want to see the yellow oscillator like this. See how straight it is? Okay, it's very straight. This one here looks like it's not even, the trajectory of this is not even going to cross the zero line, right? The trajectory. It's like the story of my life, right? I started out pretty good as a kid. Then as I get to middle school and high school, I just totally missed the mark, right? So if this crosses in the green dot prints, we could see another big push to the upside that will take us up to 118, 120 K on the Bitcoin. All right. So this is a comprehensive Bitcoin analysis here, and essentially this is our first key support. And if we hold, as long as we don't come lower than this, we can stay bullish. We lose this, we expect 97 for a bounce, or we expect value area low 88 to 90,000. Worst case scenario, we could see lower prices. And remember, another reason why this June first week is so important is because, historically speaking, in the summers, we are bearish and sideways. Summer of 2023, we didn't break out of the range. We had bearish and sideways until August, and then the move happened in the fall. 2024, summer, bearish and sideways until August, and then we pump in the fall. If the pattern continues and the June we can't reclaim the level, then it's just most probable bearish and sideways. Maybe we see a capitulation in August and then bullish in the fall, right? These are things that we do need to be prepared for. We've got to be prepared for them. All right? All right. You understand? I understand. You understand? We understand. Yes. We all understand, Jason. Make sure to smash the likes. We have 1,300 people in the house. If we only have 400 likes, oh my goodness. Shout out to Duriani June. One day candle show bullish momentum, sir. I say it's a 50-50 shot. All right. 50-50 shot. We don't know which way. We don't know what that candle is. All right. Like this picture of me back in college. People don't know. Is that a boy or a girl, male or female? We don't know. They had to watch and wait to see what bathroom I went into at college. You know, they would look, what bathroom is he going to go into? That's how we'll know for sure. Funny thing is, in college, there are no boy and girl bathrooms, right? They're all the same, because boys and girls are the same. Go into the bathroom, there's a girl at the urinal peeing. Of course, because she doesn't have the right equipment, the pee's dripping down her leg on the floor. Honestly, this is why we saw such a spike in janitorial supplies. You know, those janitors really had a lot to mop up, let me tell you. But we took a look at the daily, and yeah, it shows bullish momentum, but I don't like that yellow VWAP. All right. I don't like this. It's a 50-50 shot. We gotta watch and see, you know, which bathroom. Which bathroom is it gonna go? Shout out to Felix, turning in from the grey, miserable London. Shout out for preparing for war. Thomas MC says, so 100x long everything? Should I put my house and kids as collateral? I mean, as long as you're using good risk management, bro. As long as you're using good risk management. Uh-oh, how'd this get here? James Wynn has a 100 million trade while holding? Really? Shout out to Alex O. God bless you, bro. Guys, make sure to go subscribe to Alex O on YouTube. When in doubt, do without. When in doubt, zoom in. When in doubt, zoom out. All right, zooming in could get you chopped. But I'm bullish as long as we hold this, right? We're at our key level, our line in the sand here. All right, but as long as we're holding this, bullish. All right, bullish. Bullishio. We're a bullishio. Should you close your long at 80K? I mean, look, I'm in longs. I've taken partial profits on all of them. All right? Why does it have to be a yes or no answer? You know, we're conditioned. You have to pick a side, yes or no. Trump or Biden. Can't you have a more nuanced view on things? Take a partial, man. Take a partial. You know, I took a partial profit on Trump. I took a partial on Biden too, man. I remember taking a partial on Biden. I almost got shot by the Secret Service. Alright, I tricked him to come over to me with an ice cream cone dangling around. He comes hobbling over. I took a partial. Wham! Got the heck out of there quick! Shout out to OJ Blockchain. Am I still holding out for a 25-cent Ripple? Yeah, I will not buy Ripple unless it goes to 25 cents. You know? That's the only time I will buy XRP on spot is 25 cents. So, yeah, I'm still holding out. Still holding out. What do I see on the 15-minute? Let's see. Let's go to the 15-minute. Look, it looks all right. It looks all right. 15-minute looks okay. It doesn't. I don't have a strong conviction either way on any of these time frames. All right. Shout out to Blockchain Cowboy. Is there weights in the backpack? Yeah, there's weights in the backpack, guys. Weighted vest over here. Look, you got to keep your cardio up. You got to stay in shape, guys. Don't get lazy. Yeah, keep a runner. I always keep a runner. All right, I always keep a runner. You guys want to see my trading style? Check out the free course, and check out my session on how to manage open trades. All right, how to manage open trades. I talk about exactly how I manage my trades. People always ask, Jason, you're in like 6 positions at once. You're short, you're long. Check out the free course, 18-part course for free. Okay, how to manage open trades. This I talk about specifically taking partial profits, being long and short at the same time, and why I do that, and how I do that. All right, and maybe you would want to do that too if it fits your psychology and your trading style. Right? Shout out to Bullish on Parade. Silosis thinks this might be it for the bull run. Remember when people were calling for 100K last bull run? This could be it. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. I've already laid out my line in the sand. Guys, we print that and confirm a bearish div on the weekly, and I'd say the top is in. All right? I say the top is in. All right. Yeah, guys, it's a weighted vest. It's a weighted vest. I've been streaming with a weighted vest. You know, I'm trying to see how much food I can eat every day and still maintain 6-pack abs. I'm doing an experiment on my body. All right. I'm seeing how much food I can eat, how many calories, how many carbs I can eat, and be lean, but still have unlimited energy. Right. It's my experiment. I'm trying to get unlimited energy and see how much I can eat. So my mindset is this. If I eat super huge amounts of food and I'm very active, I get my metabolism revved up through the food choices I eat, through my activity levels, through my lifestyle, how much can I actually eat and get stronger and more jacked in the gym and out of the gym without getting fat? All right, it's a little experiment I'm doing on myself right now. I pushed it up towards, I'm eating just around 5,000 calories a day on average. A little bit more, actually. And I'm staying super lean, but I've actually gained about 2.5 pounds doing this. But I've gained weight, I look leaner, and I have unlimited energy. It's a little experiment I'm doing on myself. If I just flood the body with energy, utilize that energy, and utilize that energy to push myself in the gym to get stronger, am I going to also be able to stay lean and get more more jacked. Sounds crazy, I know. Sounds crazy, I know. More pooping in the future. Yes, I poop like 3 times a day right now. I'm literally a 3 times a day pooper, and they're big poops too, let me tell you. They're huge. They're massive poops, alright? It's a good thing I just poop in the dirt, in the outhouse, out here on the homestead. Otherwise, that would not flush, let me tell you. Alright? It's a fight to find high quality food. You gotta grow your own, Fred Sloan. Grow your own. Alright, we're out here on the land, baby. We're out here on the land. Let's take a look at ETH. Would I say it's possible to make 100% profit each month? Yeah, but here's the thing. You start putting goals to yourself. You start saying, I want to do this every month, or I want to do this every day. You're setting yourself up for failure. Or you gotta take what the market's gonna give you. These people are like, just 1% a day. You turn 100 into $1 million. Alright, yeah, sure. You're gonna make 1% every day? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe for some days you will. And then here's the problem too with that. You get used to making 1% a day because the trading's easy. And then you stop making 1% a day and you have this goal. And now you're not hitting your goal. And now it starts to mess with you psychologically. And now you start gambling and all this crap. Alright, this is trading. This is not a job, right? This is not a paycheck job. You're not getting a guaranteed amount. There are, I mean, it depends on what kind of a trader you are. A scalper, a day trader. If you're a ninja scalper, it's absolutely possible. It's absolutely possible to do that. But if you're a more relaxed trader, like honestly, I'm in a very relaxed position myself right now trading. I am not scalping. I have taken, in the last few weeks, guys, I've taken 2 trades. Alright, 2. Sorry, 3. 1 was a loss, and 2 were winners. Okay? Now, if I'm putting pressure on myself to make a certain percent, I would be so tempted to overtrade. But I only saw 3 opportunities to trade in the last 2 weeks. Alright? So you can't go into it that mentality, alright? I highly recommend you go check out my free course and watch the video on mastering trading psychology. Alright? Mastering trading psychology. Go check it out. Alright? This talks about the importance of focusing on the right things in trading. If you're focusing on a percent per month or percent per day, you are going to lose everything, I promise you. If your focus is on a percent or even on a dollar amount, you're going to lose everything. All right, your focus needs to be on trading as a process, not as a money maker. Otherwise, you're going to lose everything, I promise you. I promise you. The psychology is too much to handle when you're focused on the money. Especially if you have a goal. Like, man, people are like, Jay, I quit my job. You think I could make $3,000 a month trading? Like, yeah, you could, but if that's your goal, you're probably going to lose everything because you have that pressure. You're like, dang, tomorrow's the end of the month if I don't make it by then. So you start to gamble. Otherwise, you lose your house. It's like, you cannot. I know, it's crazy, but you cannot. Alright? Is my girlfriend hot? I don't have a girlfriend. I had a girlfriend. But I married her. Now she's my wife. In fact, we're about to celebrate our 11th year anniversary. Man, time goes by. So here's the deal with ETH, guys. Very similar situation to the Bitcoin. We are coming down to the first key support. Just like Bitcoin is bouncing from the 102 key support, ETH is bouncing from the key support of the golden pocket, the value area low, and the 76 of the local range. Alright? ETH must hold this. ETH does not hold this. That's a very bad look. Because then, here's the deal. Just as fast as we came up here, we can come back down. Okay? There's a huge gap of volume here. Fast move up, fast move down. It's probably loaded with single prints. Alright? In fact, let's just see. Let's just see. Let's go to the TPO chart. Actually, there might not be too many single prints here. Let's check it out. Yeah, we've got single print at 2,100, 2,000. We've got single prints all the way down, literally to the support resistance flip at 1850. Okay. We've got lots of single prints here that could fill very quickly. So ETH must hold right now this box, and $2,700 is our level that must be reclaimed. We reclaim 27,000, we will go super fast up to $4,000 ETH. Super fast. All right, a break, a back test, boom. All right, we will shoot up. All right, this would actually be a long position I would even be interested in taking myself on a reclaim of that level on any kind of high or low we make. Something like this. All right, something like this. You know, stop loss below the previous value area high of the range. We look for a break, and then boom, we look for that move up. So the two lines, you know, we don't want to lose our box, 2,500. We want 2,700 reclaimed, and we get vacuum sucked up. All right, that would be a nice long. Just like in my opinion, this would actually be a nice short. You know, and I'm sure a lot of people are short on ETH right now. Because oh, did we? No, we didn't hit the golden pocket there. That's a bit of a surprise. It's a bit of a surprise. Do I sleep? Absolutely. 8 to 9 hours a night I try to get. Yeah. Oh, shout out to HFG. He's also got a June anniversary. That's what's up. Shout out to Dave Digital. TP'd my trade from Sunday. It was a wild ride up and down. Finally got 100%. Let's go. See, Dave Digital made 100% in one trade. Shout out to Dave Digital. 4K ETH from 1.4. That would be awesome. That would be. Yeah, shout out to Trench Lord TV. I was focused on making 20 bucks a day. That never came. Yeah, it's tough. Shout out to A Few Things Capital. Do I plan on becoming a dad anytime soon? Well, I've already become a dad 3 times, and I'll be honest with you, right now, as things are in my life, I'm not too eager to become a dad for a 4th time right now, but we'll see what the Lord has for us down the road. But I don't plan on it anytime soon, alright? It's going to be at least 9 months away. Let's just put it that way, at least. But if I had to wish for something, I would wish it'd be a little bit more than 9 months, okay? And honestly, I would be totally satisfied with 3 kids forever. I'd be satisfied with 3 kids forever. ETH, Sol, all in very similar situations. Alright. Everything in very similar situation. This is what I'm looking at for Sol. Oh, man. Very, very interesting times here. Very interesting times. Bitcoin's going to be leading the way, guys. Bitcoin's going to be leading the way. Alright. Shout out to Crypto. May the Lord bless you, man, in your job interview for your dream job. That's cool. That's cool. Even when we get a red dot on the weekly, we still have the green one on the monthly. So in the past, we get at least one more big leg up. Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. The daily time frame on ETH actually looks super juicy right now. I'd say this. ETH looks bullish. We could see, honestly, this. This is an aggressive. Oh, this is Sol. I mean, Sol's looking bullish on the daily. This would be an aggressive Sol trade right now. As we're back testing 156 This is an aggressive soul trade. Aggressive based on this daily green dot. All right. We see this direction on market Cipher. Sol actually looks pretty bullish right now. ETH. It doesn't look as bullish as Sol, but we are predicting that green dot. The daily oscillator on ETH actually does look pretty bullish right now. Much more bullish than the way Bitcoin looks. The fee is higher for you, King Kong? Go to support then and tell them there's an issue. There's support in Antarctic Exchange. If you sign up for my link on Antarctic and you don't have the low fees, then click on the customer service link right here behind me. All right? And message them, okay? They'll fix it out. They will fix it out for you, all right? When pump song? Soon we'll get a pump song, right? How do I sleep? Been going hard at the gym and cardio, but your sleep is horrible? Well, honestly, like, it depends what your issue is with sleep. Do you have trouble falling asleep or trouble staying asleep? Those are two different things. If you have trouble falling asleep, that's easier to fix. All right? You got to have a nighttime routine. Don't eat a few hours before bed. You know, try not to drink too much so you don't have to pee every 2 seconds. No screens. Do something relaxing. You know, maybe wear some red light glasses, some blue light canceling glasses or whatever. That's easy. Having trouble staying asleep, that's a cortisol issue, which means it's an adrenal issue, which means your cortisol spike is happening at the wrong time. Your circadian rhythm is off. So in order to fix that, there's a few things you can do. I would go to a functional medicine doctor or like a naturopathic doctor who can run tests on your saliva to see your neurotransmitters and your hormone levels, cortisol versus dopamine and all that kind of stuff, and then can recommend a path for you to take, maybe involving some kind of a cleanse and then supplementation that involves different nutrients that you might be deficient in order to support your adrenals so that they're producing cortisol at the right time. All right? So, also a lot of people that have an overstressed liver will find themselves waking up in the middle of the night and unable to go back to sleep. So, usually what people do is they do a liver cleanse, which you should always be doing on a regular basis, and then maybe some supplementation with some things that will support your adrenals. And of course, you can go different routes for that, whatever you want. But always, before you do any of that stuff, all right, you gotta eat a healthy diet. Like, don't be eating processed junk food. You know, eat whole foods, lots of fruits and vegetables, you know, all that kind of stuff. Magnesium glycinate, that's great to supplement with to help you sleep, absolutely. It's different than the calm stuff you get. Magnesium glycinate is different than your typical magnesium. Also, it could be a calcium deficiency. Like, there's so many things. That's why I recommend you go to a functional medicine doctor, somebody who can actually get some data. Otherwise, you're just taking a shot in the dark at stuff, you know. I ain't no doctor, but yeah, you go to someone who can actually run some tests on you, and then come up with a plan for you, right? What do I think about creatine? I know that people use it and they say it's good, but I always, it gives me digestional issues. All right, to put it lightly, digestional issues. And I have used it. I found no benefit for strength, for endurance, for size, but I have found a benefit and causing me to go diarrhea. All right, so that's what I think about creatine. But if you use it and you like it, keep using it. And like, apparently it's good for your brain, it's good for everything. All right, we're gonna do the pump song. Let's see. I mean, maybe if we start to really pump, we could do a pump song. What kind of liver cleanse? Well, a great cleanse you can do, and this is not medical advice, is this one. It's called the standard process purification cleanse. All right. Standard process purification cleanse. It sucks. You're gonna feel like crap when you do this. All right. You won't feel horrible, but you will feel off. All right. And a lot of times when I do this, I mix it with a tincture that supports the liver. All right. But basically, you go on like a vegan diet for a few weeks, you take all these supplements here, and then you add in the dairy and the meat after. You're gonna kind of feel like crap during it, but it's worth it. It's worth it because what this will do is it will cleanse out your system. Because a lot of times, I mean, look, I'm gonna sound crazy now, all right? But a lot of times your body, nutrient deficiencies and things, have nothing to do with the fact that you're not ingesting enough of the nutrient. But it's because there are toxins in your body that are preventing your brain from registering the fact that you're getting those nutrients, and different chemical reactions are not happening that should be happening because you have toxins that are blocking those pathways. I know I sound crazy right now, okay? But okay, if I sound crazy, all right, think about just... Oh, never mind, I'm not gonna say it. I know I sound crazy, so whatever. So if you can clear up those pathways, then your body is now open to receiving the nutrients and being able to perform the chemical reactions that are necessary. Like, just because you're eating zinc doesn't mean your body will utilize that zinc. Your body needs that zinc to do certain chemical reactions that are going to give you the benefits, right? So that's a good cleanse. How do you get rid of acne on the face? I don't know. Oh, well, the way I got rid of acne on my face was I stopped showering. Stopped showering. Just stopped. All right? Just stop showering. How many calories a day should you eat? That depends, Wavy. That depends. But I will tell you this. I'd rather eat more than less. I'd rather eat more than less. I'm a huge... I don't believe in starvation diets, man. I see these people, these like fitness people on YouTube, like full day of eating 1,800 calories, and they're men. What? That's so little food, right? Sounds horrible. I think you should eat enough so your body has the energy to do what you want to do. If you eat enough food so that your body has the energy to do what you want to do, and you focus on whole foods, all right, single ingredient foods that are easily identifiable, and you don't have to guess what they're made of, then you will probably find that you're eating the right amount of calories without trying, all right? I track all my calories, but I don't count my calories. I track, but I don't count. I don't put any limit on myself. I eat until I don't want to eat anymore. That's what I do. When my body's hungry, I give it energy with nutrient-dense foods. And when my body's not hungry, I don't give it energy. And if you're very active, you know, you're going to be more hungry. And that's okay. Let your body have the nutrients. Let your body have the nutrients. I'll tell you something, these calorie calculators are a whole bunch of nonsense. Like I said, I'm eating like 5,000 calories a day on average because I track. And if I were to do a calculator, they'd tell me like 3,300. Which I'd be like starving on. Not starving. Like, don't get me wrong. Thank God I'm not starving. Praise the Lord, I have food to eat. But yeah, in general, over the past 7 days, I've eaten 5,100 calories on average per day. The week before that, 5,500. I just eat when I'm hungry, man. And you should do the same. If you're eating whole foods, potatoes, fruits, vegetables, meat, dairy, eggs, you're not going to overeat, man. You're not. All right? You're not. And what will happen if you eat single ingredient whole foods is your hunger cues will be on point. Like, your body's not going to lie to you. You're not hungry at all. You eat a potato chip, and guess what? All of a sudden, you're hungry for the whole bag, right? You're not hungry at all. Have a spoon of ice cream, then guess what? You eat the whole container, right? All of a sudden, now you're hungry, right? If you're not hungry, and you're trying to eat potatoes and eggs, or Greek yogurt with fruit, it's just not gonna taste good to you. But if you're hungry, and you eat Greek yogurt with fruit, man, it tastes like the best thing in the world, all right? When you're hungry and you eat like some squash with some eggs, it tastes amazing. It's good. You know what I'm saying? How do I calculate calories? I'm a nut. First of all, I eat the same things every single day, all right? I eat the same things every day. Every single day, I eat the same things. I'm a nut, all right? Secondly, I weigh all my stuff out. I'm a nut, all right? I'm neurotic. Do I ever do intermittent fasting? Yeah, all the time. All the time. How to prevent farting? Well, you also have to eat foods that your body can digest well. So if you're having gas and bloating, then you gotta eliminate some of those foods. And you have to take it a step at a time. Like if I was eating a normal American diet yesterday, and then today, because I am eating probably like 150 grams of fiber a day from all the fruit and vegetable I eat, right? If I were to just switch like that, I'd probably have diarrhea, constipation, tug of war forever, right? But you got to ease into it. And if you find that eggs bother you, don't eat them. If you find dairy bothers you, don't eat it. A lot of people can't handle dairy. I mean, I'm a mutt myself. All right, I've got ancestors from all over the world, but somewhere in there, I've got some light Nordic genes, right? I've got these blue eyes. And so for me, dairy, I thrive on dairy. I thrive on milk, yogurt, cheese. I eat so much of it with no issue at all. So you got to find, if you're not digesting your food, you might as well not be eating it. And if you're not digesting your food, then you're not going to have that energy. You're not going to have that. It's not going to have the effect you want. So you got to find what works for you. You have no or little appetite? Well, I can't help you there. All right, I was super fat as a kid, and I still have a massive appetite. But I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't help you. Shout out to Ingvar. You're laughing at all the philosophies and things we have in common. All right, cool, man. God bless you. The body's like a plant. I'm sorry, 5%, no pump song. All right, is ETH pumping? Like, is anything pumping? Do we have any reason to sing a pump song right now? Yeah, HFG says force yourself to eat and then the appetite will come. That's probably true. I hear from people that have a hard time gaining weight that you got to eat to stimulate the metabolism. And I believe that. I believe that. Because I've gone through phases of, you know, not being able to eat as much. And it really is your body adapting to what you give it. So, you know, in the wintertime, I was eating probably around 4,000 calories a day. I'm eating over 1,000 calories more per day. I'm hungrier now than I was back then, for sure. So the body will adapt. Anything on XRP? I'm still waiting for 25 cents. Man, God bless you guys. May the Lord bless each and every one of you. Thank you guys for hanging out while I talk about a whole bunch of stupid nonsense. May the Lord bless everybody in Jesus' name. I gotta head out, guys. But make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.